reason I think that Massey and my bill is so striking is it's the first time you've had a split in the MAGA base, arguably, since Donald Trump walked down that elevator. I mean, you've got Marjorie Taylor Greene on my bill, Lauren Boebert on my bill, Tim Buchheit on my bill. I was joking with my staff. It's an attack ad waiting to be written on me.
These are the co-sponsors. This is everybody.
So who would have thought that they would join a Democrat, and every Democrat is for it, in saying that we want transparency. We want the evidence out there. And this is what Democrats, people say fight, 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 scream, scream, scream. We've been fighting Donald Trump for 9 years, and frankly, we've been losing a bunch. Now we're winning. We have him on the defensive. We're splitting his base. And I think this is where we should really be on the offense and saying we're the party of transparency. And by the way, MAGA, if you voted for Donald Trump because you thought he was going to be transparent and hold people accountable, you were wrong.
Also interesting to me, Simone, he doesn't just have Donald Trump on the defensive. They also have Speaker Mike Johnson on the defensive.
Very on the defensive. And I mean, let's just play a little bit from the Speaker in his own words on this issue.
There's no purpose for Congress to push an administration to do something that they're already doing. I'm convinced that the DOJ is going to do their job, the administration is going to do their job, and we'll do our job.
What they're going to find out is it will embolden members of Congress here to go with their heart, with their minds, with their constituents, and not just toe the party line. This will be a referendum on whether the executive branch controls the legislative branch.
Your colleague Tom Massey in the second beat there. Speaker Johnson, I'm convinced that the DOJ is going to do their job, the administration is going to do their job, and we'll do our job. You know, Congress's job is a co-equal branch of government. I know sometimes it feels as though people have forgotten that, but this is a situation where it seems like accountability is being skirted, and Congress does have the opportunity to ensure there is some accountability here. And it hasn't always been this way. I'm thinking of Watergate. It was bipartisan push to hold Nixon accountable. There were Republicans there. Iran-Contra, bipartisan hearings. On this one, it just kind of seems like a lot of Republicans, led by the Speaker, not all, but a lot, are choosing party preservation, or really preservation for the president, over the truth.
They're choosing Trump over the truth. I mean, the reality is even the MAGA base realizes that the administration hasn't been transparent. That's why this whole controversy erupted. First, they said there were no files to release, and Pam Bondi walked back her statement that there was a client list. Then they said, OK, we're going to release these grand jury testimony, but they omitted that they have to go to a judge for that. And most of that is going to be about Jeffrey Epstein, not the people who trafficked in sex trafficking with Jeffrey Epstein. So here is how atrocious what Mike Johnson is doing. It's not just that he isn't allowing a vote on Massey and my bill. He isn't even allowing a vote on a non-binding sense of Congress that these things should be released. He's adjourning Congress early because he doesn't want any Republican going on the record voting against the release, because the Republicans are getting phone calls from their own base fearful of primary threats. It's unprecedented that he didn't have the Rules Committee meeting. We can't do the normal business of Congress because he's afraid that the Democrats will introduce an amendment that they would have to vote against and that they would be seen as blocking the Epstein files.
You know, I said this last night, but don't you feel is it incorrect for me to say that Republicans did already take a vote on this when they voted to block you and Tom Massey's bill from going forward, piece of legislation from going forward?
The Rules Committee did. The Rules Committee already did, and then they voted against us on the floor. But look, they have one more chance, and I think the 10 Republicans are co-sponsoring it. They're clear that, okay, they want disclosure. But they tried to get around Massey and my bill by having a non-binding, toothless resolution. So Massey and I called each other. We said, okay, they're trying to play games. Johnson isn't bringing that to the floor because he doesn't want to offend the president. And this is the first time the MAGA base is seeing through it. I mean, it's a huge issue. This sentiment is only going to build over the August recess.
So to that point, I find it amusing that Speaker Johnson somehow believes that he's going to adjourn tomorrow and send everybody home. We're not voting anymore. Everybody go home. Right? There will be no one in the land talking about Mr. Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell or any of this. And August will play itself out, and we'll roll into Labor Day, and then we'll come into September, and everybody will come back to Washington, and all of this will have magically disappeared. In what universe does he think that's actually going to happen? Because I don't see you, and I certainly don't see Congressman Massey saying, okay, you beat us, you didn't vote, we're going to let this drop. The reality of it is that and that is weaponizing the institution against itself, using its rules and the mechanisms of regular order against the institution in a way that, in this case, protects the president, because this is not going to get exposed, and takes him off the hook of, to your point, of being on the wrong side of MAGA. But it is MAGA that wants this. What Mike Johnson is doing is what Republicans have gotten very good at, in your view. If you stay true to what you say and have written in Politico and said in Politico, telling Democrats to keep hammering this in your districts as well as across the country. So how does this come Labor Day look?
Well, first of all, we come back from Labor Day, we're going to have a vote on it. I mean, the bill would have ripened. It has to be 7 legislative days, and we're going to get the signatures on the discharge petition. We'll get every Democrat, and we'll get 10 to 12 Republicans. We only need 6 Republicans. So this issue isn't going away. But the reason I think Speaker Johnson thinks this is, in the past, Donald Trump has been able to distract. And he says, OK, let's release the Martin Luther King files, arrest Obama. He tries everything, and a lot of times people just sort of move on. The difference here, it's not Ro Khanna, it's not Hakeem Jeffries or Ron Wyden, it's not MSNBC. It's Marjorie Taylor Greene saying this stinks. It's Lauren Boebert saying this stinks. It's C. Bannon saying this isn't right. Tucker Carlson, his own base, is saying this is why we voted for you, to clean up Washington, and you're selling us a bunch of lies. And that's why this isn't going away.
I think that
This is exactly Donald Trump way of reacting. This is exactly way of Donald Trump reacting. He has more than one way of showing how scared he is. Sometimes he starts posting non-stop on social media about the thing he has afraid of. Other times he talks about random topic instead, just to distract people, and that's...
I think the other thing that's different is that in the past, the president has threatened members of Congress of his own party who dare to stand up to him with the possibility of a primary. He's currently doing that on Truth Social to Massey. You don't see Massey backing down. I think it is interesting that Massey has turned his ire from the president to the speaker. This is what he told Punchbowl News today. I think this is the referendum on Johnson's leadership, said Massey, who's been a frequent critic of the speaker. Who is he going to pick? Is he going to stand with the pedophiles and underage sex traffickers? Or is he going to pick the American people and justice for the victims? This is the ultimate decision the speaker needs to make, and it's irrespective of what the president wants. Do you think, I feel like I've asked this question a million times before, but do you think his speakership survives this?
I don't know. I don't know, because Massey is absolutely right. I mean, this is really a question on whose side are you on? Are you on the side of the donor class who may have trafficked with underage girls? Are you going to protect them because they may have played golf with one of your buddies? They may have supported some politician you knew? Or are you on the side of the people? And are you...
What has doing right now? Another way Donald Trump shows fear is by staying completely silent, which has also doing right now. From that, I seen this is how Trump behaves when has deeply scared, and based on his silence, it looks like Donald Trump is truly terrifying tonight. of the Epstein files. Today, Trump stayed totally quiet about the Epstein case. The same man who usually loves being in front of cameras and pretending to answer reports questions did not even let the media come close to him today. He also did not post a single thing about Epstein on social media. Nothing about the man he praised for 50 years, calling him a traffic guy. Will that some man, Jeffrey Epstein, was actually sexually abusing children? The last time Trump said anything about Epstein was on Saturday at 9:30 a.m. He posted, "I have asked the Justice Department to release all grand jury testimony regarding Jeffrey Epstein depending on the court's approval. But even if the court fully agrees, it still won't be enough for the troublemakers and radical left lunatics who are making this request. They will always want more and more and more. They will always want more and more and will more." According to Donald Trump, one of those radical left lunatics in probably Major Taylor Greene.